If we've learned anything this year, it's this. Life is full of challenges, and so is ministry. Today we're going to take a look at some obstacles that you may be facing and how we can turn those into opportunities to grow. But there's one more thing. If you're someone who's really struggling with discouragement in this new ministry season, I hope you'll stick around to the end of this video because I have a special message just for you.
Hey there, you look a little discouraged. What's wrong? Oh, you're getting ready to relaunch your ministry, but you feel like there's a lot of obstacles now? I get it. But do you think those obstacles might also be opportunities? Turning obstacles into opportunities. We recently asked leaders who'd already reopened on site, what is the one thing you learned that other leaders should know? Turns out they learned a lot, especially about the obstacles that you may face and how those same obstacles can actually be opportunities in disguise. So get ready to reignite your imagination and your ministry, because this is some good stuff. Obstacle number 1, you have fewer in-person volunteers. Every ministry we talk to has one thing in common, fewer in-person volunteers. Many people are simply not ready to come back on site yet, and we have to respect that. But let's face it, as leaders, that's pretty terrifying. What it means is that you won't be able to run your ministry program the same way you did before. Now don't worry, I'm not going to rehash 2020's favorite term, pivot. By now we've all pivoted our way into vertigo. Now we're on to something even better, purpose. So your first opportunity is to reevaluate your purpose. As we figure out how to meet our mission with less helpers, the first thing that we want to do is ask ourselves 2 important questions. First, what do we want to accomplish? And second, what do people need now? Your goal is going to make these 2 answers line up. So gather your teams and spend time reflecting on these 2 questions because the answer will help you decide where to put your resources to support the missions that matter most. Obstacle number 2, you have fewer in-person students. Just like your volunteers, many of your students will not be ready to come back yet. This is especially true for children who have special needs or are medically fragile. So as a church, we can choose to let these families go, or we can embrace hybrid teaching. Now you might be thinking, hybrid teaching means twice the work. And that's true, but so is this. God wants us to have twice the workers. So your second opportunity is to expand your at-home volunteer team. As leaders, our number 1 mission is not to serve everyone ourselves. It is to invite, equip, and empower others to strengthen the kingdom too. Never forget that our ministries grow the faith of our team members as much as those we serve. And God wants us to increase our teams. Never has there been a better opportunity to do this. What this means in practical terms is you're going to create 2 teams, one for on-site and one for at-home. Each will have their own mission, and each of these missions will need people with different skills. New ministry roles, like creating digital content that connects on a personal level, means inviting in new types of volunteers, many of whom have been overlooked in the past because they weren't people persons. Now, their gifts, the ones that God gave them, are exactly what we need. How exciting is that? In the coming weeks, we'll explore specific roles and competencies for these new teams, but for today, please just spend some time thinking about who you know that God would like to see use their gifts to reach others. Obstacle number 3, your budget has been reduced. One thing that most of us will face going forward is less money coming in. This can feel scary, but it also gives us a chance to focus on something really important. So your third opportunity, focus on connection, not perfection. This is my favorite. You may have noticed I am not a perfectionist. The great news is you don't have to be either, because people don't need that right now. They don't care about perfect programming, expensive care packages, or a fancy building. They just need this: to be seen, to be loved, and to be remembered. And that costs $0. So make phone calls, send texts, mail handwritten notes, and commission others in your church to do the same. Leave something on your checklist undone because you spent that time listening to how someone's day went. In this time, more than ever, we have a chance to be the church. The real church. Not the building, not the sound system, not the strategies that look good on paper, but the church. The one that's filled with brothers and sisters who care for one another. This is our time. So even though we don't know what every detail of ministry will look like in the next year, we do know this. For every obstacle, there is an opportunity waiting to be discovered. And even when we're weary, we are mighty if we invite God in and don't give up. Whew! That was good stuff. But there is one more thing before you go. Relaunching your ministry can feel scary, but it's also a chance for something else, to lean on Jesus more. And you may just find that the biggest opportunity of all is to grow your own faith.
Thanks for watching. I hope you found that encouraging. But there's one more thing I want you to know. If you're someone who's facing a role reduction, reduced budget, or maybe you've even lost your job in the church due to budget cuts from the pandemic, I know that's hard. And I want you to know that you're not alone. And I also want you to know that you are still powerful for the kingdom, because you don't have to have a title or a budget or permission to do amazing work for God. So know that we are here to help you if we can, that we believe in you, and that we thank you for everything you do. Thank you to each and every one of you out there who are doing your best to keep ministry going. What you do matters.